Okay. All right, are we ready?
I think so.
I don't hear everybody shouting no, so I guess that's a good thing. Dan, hopefully you can help monitor the chat for me. If there's any questions in there at any time, feel free to ask. Welcome. I'm super excited that I was able to, there was going to be a minute when I couldn't come, and then I was going to come, and then I couldn't come. But I got to be here, and I'm really excited because I love two things: learning, and I also love sharing Breakout EDU. My name is Ann Brucker, and I'm my job description at Breakout EDU is rather weird. I like to say it is the doer of the things, because we all kind of do everything. There's 7 of us currently on the team. And I started as a game developer. I actually started when I was working for Billings Public Schools as a tech integration specialist. I started just as a game player, and then I was like, oh, I could use these for professional development. So then I started writing games, and then I started submitting games, because there's this program where if you create games, you can get your own free kit. So I was like, I want my free kit. So that's how I kind of just got to know the team. And one day in the middle of December, right before Christmas break, I got an email asking if we could have a call, which was hilarious because who calls people anymore? And they said, do you want to come and work for us starting January 1st? So I leapt from my cushy teaching career and came over here and have been doing a little bit of everything ever since. So I'm super passionate about this, because Breakout EDU was one of those things that when the first time I saw a group of kids playing a game and the way they talked and communicated with each other and bounced ideas off each other and iterated and reiterated, I was like, this is what I should have been doing my whole career. So it really embraces those 4 C's, the communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking, but also it just helps with that team building stuff, which has really been sorely lost, as I'm sure all of you know, in this last spring. So going into this next school year, who knows what it'll be. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit different everywhere, but we have options to learn how to play safely in person. We have resources for how you can make that happen, but also how to play digitally online like we're going to do today. So I just want to make sure that you guys are all able to see my intro screen there, and I'm just going to go for it. So welcome to Breakout EDU. My contact information is at the bottom. I'll show that again. I'm really not hard to track down. I'm pretty well out there, but as I was saying before, it was my passion for like, wow, this is what I should have always been doing. So hence our slogan, it's time for something different. We believe that learning should and can be fun, and we want to make that happen. So to roll off, I would love it if you could tell me a little bit about yourself. I don't know in the forum here if that link is actually clickable, but if you want to open up another tab and type that in, the mountain, moot, the M's have to be capitalized because it is just a bit.ly. I'll give you 3 compelling reasons why you want to fill this form out. One, it tells me that you're interested in Breakout EDU, which obviously you came today, so that can help me, if we want to correspond later. But that's how I can also give you your moot coins, because that's awesome. And third, I also want to, well, back to the Breakout EDU one at first, I want to be able to make sure that everyone has the availability to try all these tools that we're going to use today. So I can give you 60 days of access to everything on the Breakout EDU platform for free. But finally, that end one there, that goes with my shirt that I'm wearing, that's that was a COVID project that we worked on, because when school was canceled, we had families at home that had kids that had done Breakout. We wanted to be able to still kind of continue that style of learning, and you couldn't go to escape rooms. So I'm going to send someone from this group a Breakout home. And Breakout home is, I'll skip over to that slide to show it to you. It's a little envelope that we'll send you, and it includes an escape room in an envelope. So I will pick somebody that from the fills out the form, I'll pick somebody here and contact you to let you know that you won and get that in the mail for you. So if you would just take a second to do that, I'll show that again at the end in case you missed it. So first, I'm going to take advantage of one of these cool tools here in the Moodle. and I'm going to do a poll. So one thing that might be useful for you to do is you can just open up in another tab, or you can split your screen, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But good job. If you could hop on over here to wooclap.com/breakoutedu and answer this question. Got 7 more people. Come on, yeah, 6. No is winning, and I love that. I think of it as every no I get here, that gives me a chance to talk about this thing that I love so much to people with fresh ears, and everybody else can be like, yes, you're right, the yeses. You guys can help cheer them on. So looks like we got about 6 more people to answer. If you're familiar with Breakout EDU, super yes or no. Notice I didn't put a maybe in there. It's summer, I know decisions are hard, but cool. Overall, it looks like that the no's are going to win, which makes me so excited, because obviously this is something I love. I wouldn't have left my career for it. So I'm going to explain. If you're not familiar with Breakout EDU is an escape room experience for your classroom. The idea is that you can unlock the love of learning through games. And we have about 1,700 plus 1757 or something ready-made games on our platform, both physical kit-based and then digital, like the one that we're going to do today. They're pre-made, but you also have the ability to get a membership or an account where you can create games of your own. So we give you all the tools that you need to actually host a game similar to the one that we're going to play today. And thanks to interactive tools like this, you can make that truly collaborative, even just the tools that are built into Zoom, as you'll see today. So if you've never been to an escape room, the concept there is you pay good money to get locked in a room with friends and family, and for the first 5 minutes you stand there without a clue of what you're doing, and you're looking around and you're like, what are we even supposed to do? And if you put that in a classroom, think about a new concept that you teach to your students. It could be, I taught 4th and 5th grade, so it could be long division, it could be the various multiplication algorithms. That feeling that you feel when you step into an escape room and you're looking around and you have no idea what you're looking at or looking for is exactly how your kids feel every time a new concept is introduced. And so you have a choice. You can stand there for an hour and continue thinking, what do I do? Or you can just start poking around. And what you start to realize is everything around you is a clue. And just like in real life, whether it's road signs or potholes or whatever, everything around you gives you information about how to proceed in life, in a situation. So whether that's specific to a math problem or a real problem in the world, we want to help develop kids who know how to identify a problem and then figure out ways to solve it. So it doesn't have to necessarily just be math. It could be, global warming or hunger or a virus vaccine. So we've got real life problems in the world that I'm not trying to say that Breakout EDU will solve these problems, but the kind of thinking that students need to use to be able to be successful in a Breakout EDU game are the same kind of skills that they need to be successful in solving those bigger world problems. So for those brand newbies out there, I can't wait for you to hear how we can work together to do that. So back here on the tell me about you slide, if you didn't get a chance to do that, like I said, I'll bring that back up in just a minute. I'll make sure, and Breakout Home is in that same vein. It's just all the locks are digital, like we're doing here with physical puzzles. You've heard me mention a couple times here the 4 C's. This is the real meat of education. I mean, you can wrap whatever content you want in there, but we really want students, humans in the world, to be able to communicate work together, as they collaborate, do that critical thinking. And something that I remember from the classroom is if I'd give an assignment out of a book or a worksheet, I didn't always get critical thinking, and I didn't always know how to make that activity something a valuable experience. My youngest son is, it's okay if you gasp right here. In fact, I would love it if you would gasp right here, okay? My youngest son is gonna be a sophomore in high school. And thank you, good job.
That was mine. My daughter.
I love her. The experience that my son had this spring as a freshman in high school, it was very disappointing to me, because a lot of the activities and the poor teachers that were trying to race to learn how to teach in an online setting, they just didn't know how to do it. And so some of the things he was getting were just time killers and grade book space fillers. So it was disappointing to me as a parent, but also as a teacher, because I mean, we know that there's better ways out there to get kids to really actually be able to think, and as I was saying before, apply those scenarios to real life problems that they'll encounter someday. So in that vein, we are actually going to play along today. I have given you the WooClap link. Hopefully you were in there. As I mentioned, a little pro tip here is to split your screen. So if you just drag one of your windows over to the left and pop open another window to the right, you can still see my presentation, me here, if that's not terrifying enough, or the slides, and also then the game. So if you want to do that, that's awesome. If you don't, that's totally fine too. So I have down here, let's see, whoops, go back, sorry. Oh, technology, you silly beast. Get off. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is play a game that is free on the Breakout EDU platform. You can access this game anytime later today and play it with your kids at home if you have them, or send it out to your students if you're still in communication with them, or just put it in your tool belt. You can create a free account by visiting platform.breakoutedu.com. And hopefully you noticed in the course, I put the link to this presentation here in the course homepage. So you can click those links or go back to refer to those at a later time. But when you go to platform.breakoutedu.com, this is where you actually find all of the games. Our website, which is just breakoutedu.com, is where you find information and resources, but the games themselves live on, get this out of the way here, live on the platform. So if I were looking for a game for math, I could search math. I could use the filter here and I could look for just digital games for elementary or my specific 4th and 5th graders, and then search, and it'll hone down all those digital games. If you type free in this box and do the same thing, you'll be able to get every free digital game that we have to offer. You can filter them down, like here, I'm just looking at 4th and 5th grade games. So here's a really just generic team building game, the Birthday Party Puzzler. So if you want to go ahead and create an account, you don't need to do that now to be able to play the game that we're going to play here. But this, when you come back to the presentation, this is where you'll go to actually create that account later on. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a puzzle, a game that's on the Breakout EDU platform. And for each lock, you're going to see a puzzle and then the lock options. So there are 5 different lock options. There's color, ABC, text, number, shape, and let's see what I say, color, number, shape, word, and something that I'm forgetting. Oh, direction. So if you're thinking about building games, those are the options that you have to create around. But like I said, everything in the world is a puzzle. So sometimes you may, see a picture and realize there could be 10 different puzzles made out of it. So for example here, you're going to see an image. Sometimes it's text, sometimes it's a video, and then the actual inputs for whatever type of lock you're looking for. So for this combination, there's 5 empty circles. So you're going to know that this combination has 5 colors. Okay, so let's just do a little sample here. Take a look at this picture and try to come up with what you think a combination might be. So as you're trying to work it out, you know what you're working on a color lock. What colors are predominant in this image? There's frames. There's, what order do you put them in? Is there some kind of a context where you might be able to figure out what order? So I'm going to pop this up here, the picture. What part of this image here that you see might be a clue? So you should be able to just click on a spot where you think, oh, this might be an important part that might be a clue to solve this puzzle.
Maybe in the garage in a bucket. It's just hard for me to concentrate right now because they're in the middle of something important. Can I talk to you in a bit? Love you.
7 clicks, 8 clicks. I'll wait till it gets up to about half and then I'll show you what people are clicking on. Hide that here. Guys, if you've never used this WooClap tool, it reminds me a lot of Mentimeter. It's super cool. I love the interactivity. One more person. Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reveal. You can keep clicking in if you haven't done it yet, but here's the results. Interesting. So remember earlier I was saying there's problems in the world and we all just need to be able to look at something and realize it's a problem and then figure out ways to fix it. Look at all the different things that you guys have identified here as potential clues. So I'm seeing a lot of people clicking on the frames, a lot of people clicking on different pictured things. I noticed 2 people have clicked on the names, Cindy and Eli. So we've got colors and then we've got some words. Everything is a clue. Remember, that's the moral of the story. So knowing that everybody's kind of looking at some different things, let's go back here. And the names would give you an indication, maybe, of the order. So if you were to put those in alphabetical order, you would come up with a combination. Let's see. Yeah. All right, so here I'm gonna bring this up. You might need to write it down somewhere or scribble it out. What would be the combination for this 5-color lock? Hopefully you can still see it nice. The color, remember we're looking for 5 colors.
Can you go back to the picture?
Yeah, you betcha.
You can also click on the picture in WooClap above and it'll expand it.
Oh, good. So the participants can do that too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Ooh, super. I love this. Okay, we're getting a couple different answers. And this is where in the classroom, you've got some incredible opportunity. You have kids with different answers or learners with different answers because they're not, well, we're all kids, I guess. Your job as a learner is explain to me how you know you're right. If let's say the combination is red, yellow, orange, green, purple, how do you know you're right? Is there some way that you could prove it? Well, fortunately, with the Breakout EDU platform, there is. I'm going to pop back over here to the presentation and I'm going to show you that if you were to put in the inputs, red, green, purple, red, blue, the lock on the screen that you'll see would turn green, indicating that you got it correct. Unlike a worksheet or a problem out of a book, there's no compelling reason for a kid to go back unless they're, me, they want to get an A, to redo an incorrect problem on a worksheet or a math book. But here, they can't move on and they don't want to, they want to be able to succeed. So they will go back and try again. So then they may talk to another person whose idea was blue, green, red, purple, ask them, how did you get that? and then realize, oh, I didn't even see those names down there, or I was misspelling Maya or Mia. So the inputs will tell you right away if you got it correct or incorrect, and then you get a chance to try it again. So that's where that communication part is really important, and part of what's been hard during this distance learning phase. So we're going to look at this other one here. In this case, it's a bunch of pencils, and it's a direction lock. Most of the lock options, so the direction, number, shape, and color, you have up to 5, but you can have as few as 1. So you have one single input. So it could be just red. I'm not sure why you would do that, but you can. So it can be 1 digits, 2 digits, or inputs, 3, 4, or 5. The ABC or text lock can have up to 10 letters. So you've got some good flexibility on types of puzzles that you can make there. So I'm going to show you that real quick. We're looking for 5 directions this time, and we're dealing with pencils on, or math problems on pencils. So I'm going to ask you, in this image, which expression do you think is the key to the first direction in the combination? Last time we had alphabetical order. What might this one be? So you can click on the expression that you think would be the first in the sequence.
And which direction are we looking for again?
Which one would be the first? So you know it's a series of directions.
Oh.
Which one would come first? Good question. Okay, we're up at halfway. I'm going to reveal your results. Ooh, now again, we've got some different answers. Would somebody be willing to explain why you think yours is correct?
I think mine might be correct because it's the number that's the least out of all the pencils with addition.
Katie, have you played this game before?
No, I haven't. But I missed your face, Anne, so I had to come and see you.
No, I'm so glad you're here. Well, that's a really good guess, Katie. Least to greatest, especially if I were like a second grade teacher or somebody who really was focusing on that, this would be a good test, right? So back here in the presentation, if we were to try Katie's brilliant idea of least to greatest, we would be looking at the sums of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We would put that input in as the direction of the pencils. So up, up, right, down, right, and the lock would turn green. So we would know we got it correct. So now that you have a little just taste of what the platform kind of looks like, let's play a game. I'm not going to read these to you, but the big idea is use this forum. We're going to use WooClap, but we can also unmute. I'm going to give over control of the screen to some people because Zoom lets you do that. And if you figure out a puzzle early, rather than like blurting out the answer or whatever, you can think about ways that you could take that same image or that same concept and tweak it to your grade level or your learners. So are you ready? I know you're all going, yeah. We're gonna play a game called School Days. So School Days, I can click here. I don't know if you guys can, but you don't really need to. Again, this is linked in the presentation. So later, if you want to play this game with your family or whatever, you just click there and it'll take you directly to it. You don't even have to have an account to play the games. You just need an account to find the games and then share them. So here's the story. What's happened? You clicked on the wrong link and now nothing makes sense. The room is mixed up and a mess. You need to break free of the school days and get your day back on track. I know you're all super longing for school days. So here's the way the locks are. We have 5 locks. These are not connected locks. That means that you can pick any lock and start there. You don't have to go in order. We also have some games that do have connected locks. So you have to solve the first lock in order to move on to the second lock, and so on and so on. So this happens to be independent locks. I'm just going to randomly pick one, this one. All right, so here's what it looks like. This one has a picture. Sometimes there is also a text clue. This doesn't happen to have one, but if I scroll down, this is going to be a number lock. We're looking for a combination of 5 digits. So knowing that, I can either just click on the image and make it a little bit bigger, or I can click here and open it in a new window and see it quite a bit bigger. So remember, we're looking for a combination number or a combination of 5-digit number from this puzzle. So I'm going to give you a minute to just take a look at it. And I believe you can raise your hand, can't you, in mute or in mute? Where did that come from? In Zoom.
Am I supposed to be in WooClap or just right here or in Breakout EDU or where am I?
WooClap, just WooClap, yep.
Because nothing's showing up.
And actually, I'm sorry, in just in the Zoom presentation, can you see me in the other window?
I can, yeah. I
Or
have
my screen?
I have you in Zoom. I was just confused of where I needed to be.
Yeah, just watch me here.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha. Thanks to technology, everything is.
Numbers at all in the lock, or you have to choose one?
Oh, that's a great question. So if I go back to the platform to show you, you can actually click. So we don't know what we're looking for yet. Honestly, I don't even remember what we're looking for, which is awesome. I, as a teacher, don't have to know. We get lots of emails from people saying, well, how am I supposed to figure these out? Because I want to be able to help my students. Well, what if you didn't? Because then they really, truly do get a chance to problem solve without your help. And I know I'm saying that in air quotes because my form of help was often swooping in and subtly giving them the answer. So if anybody has an idea about how we might extract a 5-digit combination here, feel free to speak up and don't tell the answer, but explain your thinking.
I have
what
one.
Do you notice? Okay, let's hear it.
I see the difference in time between each of the clock times on the board. And it would give you
so
five numbers. The difference.
How would you get 5 numbers?
So the difference between 9:15 and 9:45 is 30. The difference between 9:45 and 10:45, I said was 0 because I was just looking at the minutes, or it could be 1 for 1 hour. I was going to test both of those. And then the difference between 10:45 and 11. So just the difference in the times.
In between times.
Elapsed.
Okay, you want to
elapsed time.
Got it. You want to try? I'm going to let you try it. Okay. So
well, I can't see the numbers. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. Could you scroll up just a tiny bit so I can see them again?
Sure. Yep.
I apologize. Okay, let me write it down. I thought I was telling you. My bad.
I can do that. I would be happy to click it in for you.
Okay, 30. Then let's try 1 for 1 hour. And then I think it was 90 for an hour and a half on that last one, if I can remember right. Try that.
Okay, so that is a 5-digit number. So we're trying 31 and 90. If I hit submit,
bummer.
Oh, not quite, but that was a really good try. So we're going to clear this out. We'll go back to it again. Anybody have another idea?
I have an idea.
Let's hear it, Julie.
So I looked at what actual subjects were happening in order. So for art, I then looked at images that could pertain to art and counted up the images. Like the only thing I could see was like glue. But then I did one for art, reading, science, lunch, and then I added soccer as being the 5th digit. So I do have a number.
Okay, let's try it out. See, that's awesome. I didn't even notice those. All right, what would you try?
5, 7, 2, 1, and 3.
All right. Moment of truth. Yay!
Whoa!
Nice. First I looked at it and thought, what the hell? And then I saw a pattern and I was like, I'm going to play.
Yes. And see, now again, apply that to a situation. You have a broken appliance or something in your house, and at first you look at it and you think, what the hell? And then that moment of discovery when you get it, isn't that just the best?
So just to explain what I saw is I saw 5 glue sticks. There was 7 books for reading. For science, there's 2 of the, oh gosh, what are they called? Microscopes. Lunch, there's only 1 lunch box there. And then for soccer after school, there's 3 soccer balls. So that's where I came up with the number.
Nice. Now here's a fun thing. We call these red herrings. Sometimes in the puzzles, there's something disguised in there to purposely throw you off. Like the times, for example, that could have been a great red herring. But I don't know if you can see on the chalkboard tray, there's an eraser there. If I were doing what you just did there, I might have looked at that eraser and thought, is that a book? And so what would be the worst thing that would happen if I counted it as a book? I'd get it wrong, right? If I get it wrong, I go back in and I take another look and I try something different. It's time for something different. So that's something that's super powerful that I remember trying to tell my kids, like, it's okay to go back and try something again. And to get them to actually do it was very difficult because they didn't see why they would need to. Here, it's a natural thing that's going to happen. So we're 2 locks down, or I'm sorry, 1 lock down, 4 to go. I'm going to pick another number lock because I think you'll like this one. Okay, I'm going to pop it open in a new window. Give this one a look. And when you think you have an idea of something you notice, feel free to,
How many numbers did we have to find?
Oh, great question. Great question.
Oh,
5 digits again. That's a great, when I taught reading, context clues and close reading skills. That was something that was important. Paying attention to a detail like that is really critical because that's going to make a difference on what you choose to see in this picture. What do you notice?
Can I share what I noticed?
Yes, please.
So we have the 5 colors, and I'm not sure on order, but for red, September would equal 9. The blue, March would be what, 3rd? 3.
Oh,
February would be number 2, May number 5, September 9.
Excellent.
Just not sure on order.
Okay, so what if we tried them just in order from left to right?
Sure.
Let's see what happens. So let's see, 9, 3, 2, 5, 9. 9, 3, 2, 5, 9. Okay, let's see. So this is a good example of red herrings. Did the names have anything to do with it? No. Did the colors have anything to do with it? No. And it seems cruel, doesn't it? Doesn't it just seem evil and wrong? But that's life. Sometimes there's more information than what you need out there. So that getting the opportunity for people to just really try and try again and focus in on the parts that matter and disregard the parts that don't, that's a great skill for life. Okay, so since you just did that one, you want to pick the next lock?
Sure, let's do the 3 color circles.
Ooh, okay.
Thank you.
Hey, we know this one. All right, who wants to try it? Give me a shout. Or I can pick someone randomly. Let's see, Marilyn, do you want to try it? Hi, Dougie. All right, Marilyn, if you're there, I just gave you control on my screen. So I'm gonna scroll up here and you can type in or click in what you think the combination should be. I love this about Zoom. Oops, sorry, here, let me scroll up there. So the submit button is down below. Oh, if you, Marilyn, if you can unmute, maybe just kind of walk us through what you were thinking. Okay, what were you thinking on that one?
I was thinking that, oh my gosh, I got called on and I can't unmute my line. So as someone who's a terrible test taker, can you scroll back to the top again?
I sure can, yeah.
Because we went through that, and I had been one of the ones that picked the balloons, and then I couldn't see it, and so yeah, and so on each of these little different tests, and how excited Julie got when the questions were right. I was so happy. I think I was just in my own mind, so I just threw in some colors. I wasn't having any thoughts.
That's perfect though. Yeah, your answer right there is exactly perfect. Because is that real life or what? Is that a classroom?
Yeah.
A real classroom experience? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's give another try. We are actually right now. It's months, or I'm sorry, weeks away from being rolled out, where this whole thing is gonna look new and fresh and cool. And when I hit clear, I can actually clear just all of them at once. So that's an exciting change that's coming. But whoever, is it Montana Daver or Mont Daver? Whoever you really are, I'm gonna put that over to you, because I see that.
My name is Dave. Sorry.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta get it off of Marilyn first here. Remote control. Am I not allowed to give you control? All right, just tell me what you think it is.
Red, green, purple, red, blue.
And what's your thinking there before I hit submit?
It was the names with the color of the frame.
Awesome. Alphabetical order. Yeah! Good job. Okay, on that same note, I think you're going to like this one too. Hey.
Didn't we already do this one?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Yep. It was in the sample ones that I gave you in the presentation. So we're looking for 5 directions. Oops, I'm going to close that guy. The other thing that's good to know is these are also mobile device friendly, so you can play on an iPad or a small tablet.
So you start out with the 13 plus 3. And
that's right. Good memory.
And then you go to the 14 plus 3.
Yep.
And the 12
Linda,
plus 9.
Can you still see it if I do it like that? Okay, so Linda, I'm going to give this on over to you, and you're going to try the combination out for us.
Okay.
So while that's happening, I want to say what's cool about doing this with smaller groups of students or using breakout rooms in Zoom is that you actually get to have kids, you get to walk around, and rather than teaching or explaining or reteaching and re-explaining, as I know I did often. Oh, click right up on the arrows above.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yep. You get to actually hear what your kids are thinking. So if they said, we started with the 13 plus 3 and that was 16, and then we go to 14 plus 3 and that's 27, you can pause a moment and listen in on their misunderstandings. I know it's not 27, but that it gives you that opportunity. Oh, so if you need to clear, let's scooch it up for you just a bit. Yep, okay, so just click the clear button right below.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, and then I'll go back up here so I can see them. Okay.
Oops.
And, oh, thank you, I got it.
You bet.
Okay, so 10 plus 8 goes sideways. And this one is down. And this one goes that way.
Xandra, did you want the post to this specific game in the chat or the presentation? Oh, sorry, I'll scroll up for you there.
Oh, okay. And so does anybody have any corrections before I submit? Okay, submitting.
Yay! Okay, I'm gonna grab real quick. We had a request to actually paste the link to the game directly in the chat, which I've just done, because if you wanna, that would be a great idea to be able to play along while the other people are clicking. So thank you very much for doing that. You got it correct, way to go. I will remove control here and do the last luck. We have a series of shapes and some question marks. What are we looking for exactly? Shapes. 5 shapes, a combination of 5 shapes. So if I go back over here to the image, if anybody has a guess, I would love to hear it. All right, I'm gonna pick on Lindsay this time. That sounded way evil, but I didn't mean it to sound evil. Well, maybe I did, I don't know. Lindsay, you now have control. I'll scooch it up for you. And if you are able to unmute and explain your thinking, we would love to hear it. Oh, sorry. There. Okay, and submit button is hiding.
Because if you look at the lovely picture, all the question marks, those are in the pattern, those are the ones that are missing. And I just went in order from row to row.
Right. Okay, so if you were doing patterns, the one that's missing in the top row would be the first one you put in, etc. The colors being a red herring in this situation. Let's see if you're right. Oh, right. Did it, you guys, good job. So this is a moment too, and in our new student platform, which I cannot wait to see, there's a little brain that jumps up and down and confetti shoots from the quote unquote sky. It's adorable. But this is that moment when they celebrate, and the reaction when you see kids get to the screen is so fulfilling, because they did all of this thinking and this problem solving and this hard stuff, and they did it. They succeeded. It's really cool. So I'm going to pop back over here to the presentation. If you are still in that spot. Whoops, or so I think I am anyway. Okay, can you see back over in the WooClap, the school days game? That's the game that we just played. As I said, if you sign up for a free account, you can find that game on the platform. You would just search school days. It's spelled wrong, D-A-Z-E, so that might be an easy way to do it. And it's right there. What you see on the actual platform as a teacher, there's a couple cool features which I'll share in just a second, but there's the story that's in the game. So a lot of times that's used to kind of lay the foundation of whatever the mystery is or the situation, and that builds this on the story. If you drop down these menus here through the plus button, you actually get to see the combinations. So you, as the facilitator, do have access to the combinations and also to the puzzle explanations. So if you just don't understand how it was 57213, you can pop this down and it'll explain that you count the items that go with the subject on the chalkboard, just exactly like we witnessed there. So you do have access to that information. The link to the game is when you click on this bar that goes across the bottom, it'll open up the game.
Okay.
All you need to do.
Don't see your screen.
Oh, you don't see it?
No.
Ooh, what are you seeing?
Just everybody.
You see everybody. Okay, share screen. Let's go back to my Chrome. Thanks for alerting me. Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, sweet. Oh, you missed that whole thing. Well, just pretend, imagine. Here's what I was showing you. You can see the combinations and the explanations there. So if you really need to know or want to know in advance so that you can give your students hints if they need it, I recommend not doing that, because for them to be able to see you actually not know something and empower them to be the ones to figure it out, it's such a empowering for your students, an empowering feeling for them to not only feel like they know something you don't, but to figure it out without your help. I recommend that. The other thing I want to show you here, if you have full platform access, which I'm going to give you guys all 60 days to try this out. If you have full platform access, unlike the free account that you may have now, you also have the ability to copy this game. So let's say there was a puzzle in there that you just thought, this is not right for my kids, or I would have looked at that puzzle and done a different combination for it. You can make that copy, and then you can actually go in and make modifications to the game. You can add puzzles, you can eliminate puzzles, you can change puzzles. So you would just go into My Digital Games and you'll see right at the top of the list, School Days Copy. I can go in and edit it however I wish. So you can add more locks, take locks out, change the story, make it a sequential game, whatever you want to do, that version is now yours. The other thing that you can do in there is actually assign a game. So you can create classes similar to like Google Classroom or something, where you can put your kids, they'll self-assign. So you'll give them a link to student.breakoutedu.com. We've got resources for all of this online, but you would basically create a class and then you could push the game to the students so they could access it from their class. So easiest way would probably be just to give them the game link, which is the one that I put in the chat, but that's another option if you do have full platform access. So back here to the School Days game that we just played, one of the most important things is honestly the debrief period. So it's not just the game itself and the learning that takes place in the game, it's the conversation afterward. So in a single word, if you can, how would you explain this game experience to someone? Maybe someone who's in your house right now. A single word. Oh, did I lose everybody from the Woo Clap class? I hope not.
I'm trying to find it. I was there at one time.
Yeah, it's probably in another tab. If you just go to wooclap.com/breakoutedu, that should get you back in there.
Okay.
Ooh, contagious, sweaty. I'm sorry you were sweaty. Hopefully that's because you're out sitting on your porch in the sun sweating and not nervous sweating. Great words, visual. I love that. Intense. That's a really interesting adjective for this. I would agree. Learning is hard. Anything that's new, that is different, is hard at first. And the only way that, of course, you get better at it is by doing it more. So yeah, it can definitely be this. And I think part of that too, the timer going across the top, you do have the option when you make a copy of a game to turn that off. So if you know you have kids who are really anxiety ridden or your anxiety, you can turn that timer off. Great, this is awesome. These words are so awesome. I'm taking a screenshot of this right now because I'm gonna share this with the team. They'll be like, yeah, we already know this, Anne. Chill out. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. Okay, so my next question for you then is, oh, I already did that one. As I mentioned, the 4 C's. We recently did a poll to our users, and we had about 6,000 people reply, which was amazing. But over in the corner, you can see the word cloud that they generated. We asked them the same question that I just asked you, and here's what it came out to be. But whoopsie, sorry. Technology again. I like to blame technology when I know it was 100% me. Okay, so using the 4 C's, which one do you think, could you see this being the most useful way to harness one of these terms? You have 100 points to spend. You can divide them up however you wish among these 4 terms.
What do we just click the plus sign here? Oh, I see.
Uh-huh, yep. Oh, it's so cool to see which one is winning. Well, if that's a way to look at it. I'm going to sort them so they go in order, greatest to least. Awesome. I'm curious to know, while you guys are completing this, which one of these in your thinking is is the most beneficial real life skill?
I don't think you can just pick one because they all kind of work together to make a whole person, you know, and without any of those, you're missing some element.
Yep. Great answer, Sandra. I think this too is why two heads are better than one, four heads are better than two. That ability for which is going to be a different world when we go back in the fall. You know, social distancing and kids being apart from each other, not being able to actually communicate like they used to, is we're going to have to come up with different ways to do that. But we can still do it. We're doing it today. Awesome, you guys. This is so great.
Except I didn't see one down at the bottom, so that one should be in there.
Which one?
The critical thinking. I didn't see it when I was putting in the numbers.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it's there. Great. Awesome. Okay.
I would say I'll be 25.
You would divide it up evenly. I was waiting for somebody to say that. Let's see where we are here. Okay, let's go back. So I want to tell you about this because this is brand new, literally a week ago. Again, you're going to get, as long as you filled out that form, which I'm going to show again in a second, you're going to get an opportunity to explore all of these tools on the platform. And I'll send you some emails about actually how to use those tools once you sign up for an account. But the options here, we just rolled this out. If you ever were curious about Breakout EDU and wanted to get some kits, there literally has not ever been a better time. With COVID, of course, things being closed down, we have thousands of kits in our warehouse that we need to get out the door because we've got more stuff coming in. So the prices, it used to be you could get 2 kits and a year of platform access with all of the tools for $275. You can get that now for just $200. What that comes with is lifetime guarantee on all of the locks, the boxes. If a kid drops it, sometimes we've had like a kid was carrying it across the room and dropped the box and a hinge broke or something like that. We'll just send you a new one. You have access to all 1,700 of the games that are on there. You can build your own. You can have students build their own. We actually offer a student game design course because if you still subscribe to the principles of Bloom's taxonomy, even though there's lots of different models of ways to think about student learning and thinking, that very top tier there is when students are synthesizing information and creating. So if you're teaching a subject where students can create something based on what they've learned, it's not only very empowering to them, but it's also a way to show that they've absolutely learned that concept. So your students can create games. We've given you the entire course that you can just run for them, where they learn how to design their own games and then they can have their peers play it. So I think that's super cool. At the higher levels, so like at the library level, you get extra kits, but we'll also send 3 times throughout the year these surprise games that we're writing right now. I'm so excited about them. So if you ever have been interested in getting into Breakout EDU, now is the perfect time because this is the cheapest I've ever seen it. So I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I just want you to know that you're going to get to try everything out. Make sure that you have filled out the survey here so that I can send that. I can send you the information to either set up your account and upgrade it for free, or upgrade it on the back end for you if you've already done so. And then also get you your Moot coins and your, I'm gonna do a drawing from all of you who are here to send you a Breakout home, which is that escape room for your family room. So you wanna make sure and get the goodies by filling that out. Like I said, in the course homepage there, if you missed anything I said or want these links, it's all right there in the presentation link. You have to try to remember all of this stuff. Finally, that's how you can get a hold of me. I am around all the time, even if I'm on vacation. I told you I'm very passionate about this. I love it. There's nothing I love more than hearing from somebody who wants to learn to use Breakout EDU. So if I can help make that happen in some way, I am super down for that. And I'd be glad to do whatever I can to help make that happen. So I'm going to pop out here if I can stop sharing my screen and figure out how, and ask if anybody has any questions.
Well, this is Linda. I'm just trying to figure out how I write about me. Is it on a Google Doc or how do I go to it?
Oh, can you explain what you mean about you? Just, or you would fill out the form?
Yeah.
I'll put it in the Slack.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, not in the Slack, in the side chat.
Okay.
It should be over there now in the, oh, sorry, I wrote that just to Dan. Let me put that to everybody. How about, huh? Okay, and like I said there, Linda, I think that was, it's in the presentation, which on the course link there in Moodle, you should be able to access that there.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions from anybody at all?
Have you noticed the kids, they get better or quicker with unlocking them as they get practice time?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, the physical locks and the digital locks both.
And if they, I guess, is it based on, and it may have been in the drop down options that you showed when we were picking the game, is it based on grade, or like, can you give harder one? Like if kids are just really quick at it, can you give them harder? Like, is it grade level? Is that what it's divided up by?
If you go ahead and you even just now, whenever you want, go ahead and create a free account there at platform.breakoutedu.com. You'll be able to explore the games. And if you click on a subject like math, right up underneath the top bar, there's a grade level like K 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We actually went through last summer and made a game specific to every standard, Common Core standard, the science standards, and then we kind of used a mishmash of social studies standards from the big states because there are no nationally adopted social studies standards, but that so that we have a game, a series of digital games kind of culminated by a physical game for every standard K through 8, science, social studies, math, and ELA. So yes, you can absolutely level up, level down, whatever you need to do. And like I said, you can make a copy of a game and adapt it as needed for your learners too, or have them create their own. So lots of ways to really engage and challenge everyone.
Okay, thanks. And then how many people do you put on a team? Is it do this by yourself, in pairs, max of 5? I mean, how many kids is like too many?
That's a great question. I think a group of 3 to 4 is plenty, because otherwise you tend to get somebody who kind of checks out. If they don't have fewer people who have the ability to get their thinking in there and, you know, speak. What is fascinating, my oldest son, this is where you can really gasp and you might actually like fall on the floor, and that would be cool. My oldest son is 25 and he's extremely shy. He gets it from me. So if you talk to him, if you were to call on him in class, he would turn the color of my shirt here and he would just like clam up. Often what I have seen in school after school, city after city, it's not always the kids you'd expect. It's not always the me that is in there getting things right. Oftentimes I'm the one who struggles because I'm used to schooling. I'm used to knowing how to do school and having the answers right. And the Evans, my son of the world, have these amazing ideas that they never feel confident enough to speak up about. So in a group of 3 or 4, he feels empowered because he knows how to solve that problem, whereas Anne doesn't, and he actually gets to help her. So it's incredible to watch.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha. Anybody else? I kept you over. I'm sorry. I have so much to say, you know, because I'm super shy. Well, thank you again so very much. Feel free again to contact me anytime. If you, I forgot to say that if you attend my 2:30 session in the vendor hall or whatever it is, I can give you moot coins there too. So I'm not going to probably be in there, but if you attend, I'll give you bonus moot coins. So I'm not sure if I was supposed to admit that, Dan. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you again so much for hosting. I'm super excited to have been part of it and happy to answer anybody's questions anytime. So
great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right. Thanks so much, Anne.
rest of the summer. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.